AskReddit by Royal Inspection 901. What sucks about being female? As someone who works in a heart center, I have to say the misdiagnosis of heart attacks. I feel for this. My mom thought she just had bad heartburn and it was a complete block. If her nurse neighbor hadn't urged her to go to the ER, she'd be dead. My wife has endometriosis. It's the worst thing I've ever seen a woman have to deal with. If you don't plan to have children, or already have them, may I suggest endometrial ablation? I had this procedure done 30 years ago when it was quite new. It truly worked for me. Maybe you and her, as a couple, could look into it. Good luck. Endometriosis can suck it. BTW. You sound like a very loving husband. Probably when you had a fun day planned or anything like a holiday or beach trip, and on the day you end up having your period, which ultimately means you miss out on most of the fun you could have had. I'm cursed with this. My partner even jokes that if my period is late, we should just plan a holiday and it'll start on the trip there. Dude, I can live with the blood and all, but the stomach and back pain plus the awful period shits are just horrible. The blood is annoying. But yeah, it's the monthly-ish super migraines that won't respond to any medication, the stabbing pain that can occur really anywhere in the general vicinity of my uterus, the intense feeling of morose foreboding, all while being expected to function like a normal human being. Pockets. I don't want to carry my phone in a bag. A few years ago my boyfriend and I bought hiking pants at the same store, same brand. They are basically the same model, except he got his in the men's section and mine are from the ladies. Guess which pair has 6 large pockets and which has only 2 small ones? Apparently I'm supposed to hike with a handbag. Periods. I could really do without bleeding for a week, and I hate that the only way to stop it is to have some contraption fitted, major surgery, or pills that mess with hormones. Also, if periods are a must, why can't they just do their business and then leave? Why do I have to be in so much pain before them and feel shitty even 2 weeks in advance? UTIs and yeast infections. Literally just wearing jeans can give us thrush. Vaginas are so temperamental, I hate her. They are making all the fabric of our shirts thinner and making layering the fashion to save money. You expect me to wear a fucking cami under my t-shirt so you're not seeing bra or tit? Oh, I'm supposed to wear 3 layers of tops? Fuck you, fashion industry. Not a woman, but yeah. The fabric on women's shirts compared to men's is insane. I have 2 identical striped shirts. One is men's and one is women's. The men's is secure and the fabric is thicker, while on the women's I feel like you can practically see through it. It's so unreasonably thin it's ridiculous. Like what the hell? It's so stupid. One. I was just thinking this morning that I hate having to either put a bra on or a jacket to cover up when taking my dog to pee outside our apartment, considering it's 100 degrees too. I'm just not comfortable with my boobs falling out of my tank or nipples poking through a shirt. I'm sure it'd be fine, but my mind tells me not to. The same thing basically earlier this week. I was a bit sweaty and didn't have time for a shower, so I changed into a light sweater for the warm evening instead of putting a bra on. I know myself and how I'm more comfortable, but still someone's like, why are you wearing that? That can't be comfortable. Okay. Well, I'm in my 30s. I'm fairly certain I know how best to keep myself comfortable. All just to make sure my nipples weren't distracting to complete strangers. When I got promoted, some guys started a rumor that I slept with my boss to get that promotion. No lazy assholes. I worked my ass off. Not to mention that the judgment for this rumor is supposed to fall on the woman. If there's a male boss who's making important personnel decisions with his dick, then that's his fault and he's not qualified for his job either. It's pretty common for car mechanics to try to upcharge women, or talk down to us. I know a decent amount about cars, but I still never bring my car to the shop without bringing either my dad, my brother or my boyfriend with me. My grandmother started teaching a basic car mechanics class directed at women at the local junior college. She got tired of mechanics trying to cheat her and figured if they tried that shit with her then they must really get away with it all the time. She was a NASA engineer in the 60s and 70s and didn't take shit, and when she got offended she did something about it. Being sexualized as a child. So true. I remember walking in shorts and a bikini top from swim practice when I was like 11. There was a car with two men driving slowly next to me, catcalling to the point I had to bang on a stranger's door and ask them to let me in so I could call my parents to pick me up, a few blocks from home. Boobs. I can't just go for a jog. I have to go home and put on special gear, sports bra. Plus people stare and treat you differently once you have them. I was a DD cup at 13. Thanks for those genes, mom and both grandmas. Thanks a bunch, but they didn't stop there. Had a reduction almost the minute I turned 18. Went from an H cup back to a DD cup. Wish they were still a cup size smaller, but I'm 31 now and getting that reduction was still one of the best decisions of my life. I cried the first time I could buy a bra from Victoria's Secret as an adult. I can't find clothes that fit completely. Pants are either fitting around the waist or fitting around my legs, never both. Shirts either fit around my boobs or are too tight around them but fit my torso. Shirts ruffle up around my armpits all the time. Even tank tops one size most definitely does not fit all as well. Men's t-shirt usually fit me better than women's t-shirts. I also hate really short sleeves on t-shirts. They're uncomfortable. Healthcare professionals never ever taking you seriously. You seriously have to fight to get them to listen to you. They will always clap back with something implying that you're overreacting. Yeah, my friend was suffering from some wrist pain that wouldn't resolve and her doctor said he couldn't help her anymore and tried to send her to a psychiatrist because it was obviously all in her head. Men staring, following or trying to talk to you when you're trying to just do daily things like shop for groceries. Especially bad when you're really introverted like I am and just want to be left alone. Had a guy following me around Walmart saying nice ass under his breath every time he walked by. The first few times I ignored him until I was in an aisle alone and turned around and the perv was standing right behind me again, just staring at me. Why the fuck do some men do this kind of shit? And then telling you should smile more. Man. Being pleasant in conversation with a man and him thinking you're into him. It's impossible for me to be rude and I genuinely love people and find so many interesting, so naturally I'm a good listener and very engaging. But I can't tell you how many times that has made a man think I'm fully into him. There will be times that I consciously make sure that it doesn't at all come off like I'm flirting and it still happens. Lots of times everything is fine. So I don't want to come across like this happens every time I speak with a male, but so many occasions it goes south because of it. Incredibly annoying. And then you're accused of friend zoning them. The fact that I was catcalled more at the age of 14 compared to now at 21. Am I glad it's decreased? Yes. Am I concerned and angry that men are more likely to catcall a literal child? Very. Edit. Reading all your replies has been infuriating and heartbreaking. Sending each and every one of you love X. Yes, 13-year-old me was catcalled and stared at and bothered by grown-ass men way more than 33-year-old me. I dressed like a boy when I was 13. I had frizzy hair that I wore in a skin-tight ponytail every day, with a round, chubby face. Being the default parent, for those who are parents. This is exhausting. I have a supportive husband and the stuff that I notice that he doesn't is mind-blowing. I have to point out meals, DR visits, cleaning, etc. When I do, he's happy to help, but that took years of explaining that it's both our job, etc, and that the kids can't do that at 8 years old, etc. There's such a mental and physical burden there, and again, my husband wants to help. I can't imagine how hard it is for people with no help or unsupportive so's. Being scared of walking home alone. Having to worry about being assaulted from birth to 50 is pretty ridiculous. Edit. It doesn't end at 50. Pretty much from birth to even past death we are sexualized. Sorry if I sound whiny, but being judged for pretty much everything. Dressing too feminine. Dressing too masculine. Wearing a lot of makeup. Wearing a small amount of makeup or none at all. Pretty much any interest. Pretty much any haircut or color. I've honestly just accepted that no matter what I do I'm gonna be judged, so I may as well do what I want, lol. This goes for other girls too. Edit. Just to clarify, I know this happens to men too, but I'm just speaking from personal experience. The fact that you felt the need to begin this with sorry if I sound whiny. Getting harassed while alone in public : the moment when you realize the world now views you as a sexual woman when you just want to go about life. When your worth is based on your looks. Not being able to physically fight off men. Periods. I think every woman has a story about the first time she realized that she genuinely couldn't fight off a man. Obviously we all know we wouldn't be able to stop the 6 feet 5 inches linebacker types, but there's a special kind of fear that hits when the guy your height or shorter with no visible muscle mass just casually stands in your way or grabs you and you can't stop him. We really overlook how much different males and females are at a biological level. Testosterone is no joke. I feel like there's always an underlying thing where men don't respect you or listen to you as much as they would another male. Like in medical situations, confrontations, getting car work done, or just general social situations. All the things around hormones, menstrual cycle too. I started playing video games at 4. They've been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. In my early 30s, I got a job working at a very well-known retailer of video games. I cannot count how many times guys would come in and ignore me, just to talk to my male co-workers, one of which was only 17 and certainly looked his age. My 20+ years of gaming experience was completely disregarded, just because I happened to be a chick. Some guys would flat out say it to my face too, that they knew I knew nothing about games. So many times, I had to bite my tongue, instead of telling them I'd been playing my ColecoVision before they'd been nutting their dad's balls. Doctors, and people in general, not taking you seriously and contributing symptoms to your period hormones. They didn't believe I was depressed for years even though it was a constant mood and didn't change based on my period. Oh god, no joke. I went to my medical provider because mentally I was in a very bad place and I knew I needed help. The fact that I was even asking for help meant I was really far gone. My medical provider blew me off and said this is just something we women have to deal with. I had to plead for a referral to a mental health specialist. In 2022, no woman should have to go through such a dark place alone. Period. I hope you're feeling much better now. Depression sucks. We often have to give up or compromise our careers if we want to be mothers. But also if you do, then you kind of feel like a failure. I always wanted to be a mom and I do love it. But I don't make as much money as my husband. I don't have any career to really speak of. And I'm a great worker. I was promoted at every job I had leading up to becoming a mom. But now I haven't had a real job in 3 years. And if I want to go back to work later, it will be difficult to do so because of that gap. But in reality, I've been doing work as a nanny and selling baked goods on the side. But if my husband were to die, lose his job, or become disabled, there's no way we could live off of my income. And that scares me. Men don't take you serious. Always pay more attention to my junior colleagues men than me, even I'm the one who is the master of the trade. Deleted. Can't walk alone at night and even some places in the daytime. I love bicycles and live in the country, but I'm afraid to bicycle in the middle of nowhere because I don't wanna be kidnapped, murdered, raped. Also terrified to go hiking for the same reason. A victim of any form of sexual harassment. Most women I've known in my lifetime experienced it,